Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program, RNIP. Everybody has been asking me to make a video on it, but thing is that there are only 1100 odd people that have been invited, that have landed in those rural communities as of now. This is the data shared by IRCC. Okay, so it has been a program that was impacted by the pandemic, and they were almost at halt. Okay, like 1125 odd people, not a big number for a program. Okay, but keep in mind this is a tiny program. Don't think that it's a program like the other PNP programs. Okay, it's a tiny program. Let's talk about the details of this program. So recently, in fact today, the immigration minister Sean Fraser has come out and he talked about the future of RNIP. Okay, so there are 11 rural communities in Canada which are participating in the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program. This is a pilot program, and Immigration Minister said that this program will be valid. This pilot program will be valid till August 2024, and after that, obviously, they are going to decide the fate of this program. Okay, so RNIP 11 communities, communities like Sudbury, North Bay, Thunder Bay, and a few other communities. Only 11 communities are included in this program. Okay, and also know a few numbers about this program. Then we'll talk about the process of RNIP. Okay, so these 11 communities, IRCC, or rather Sean Fraser, is expecting that each community will have 125 newcomers every year. 125 newcomers every year for each community. There are 11 communities. And the overall RNIP program, they can have a maximum of 2750, 2750 applicants in a calendar year. Okay, so for 2023, 2750 is the maximum number of primary applicants, and also for 2024, same number for any given year. Okay, so this is the thing about RNIP. It's not a big PNP program, it is just a small program, a tiny program. So 2750 is the maximum number, and plus the family size of that principal applicant, it may vary, obviously. So the number of newcomers could be more than 2750. Okay. Now the new update is that they are going to increase the geography of these communities and the number of employers for these communities. Now let's talk about the process. The first thing is you have to meet the eligibility set by IRCC, set by the community, and the eligibilities are very low. Secondly, that's the most important thing, and that is a deal breaker for many people. You need to have a job offer from that community, from an employer, or rather, that employer who gives you a job offer. That employer needs to register with that community, with the government. Okay, so if your employer is already registered, it's good. If you receive a job offer from an employer that is not registered, that employer needs to register now. Okay, only then your job offer will count. If your employer does not register with the rural community, then your job offer will go wasted. I mean, no use. Okay, so this is one criteria. The employer needs to be registered. Secondly, obviously, the criteria for having a job offer for a foreign national is quite strict, that you cannot find such a person in that community. So that's why you need a foreign national to arrive in Canada in that community and work in those sectors. So I will leave a link in the description. You can go on that link, and the 11 communities, each of those communities have a website for RNIP, and if you look on their website, you will find a list of occupations. And if your knock code falls into those occupations, then your chances of validating your job offer are higher. Okay. Now let's talk about the knock codes. Okay, so November 16, 2022, knock 2021 will be implemented. So if you apply to the community before November 16th, then knock 2016 version will be applicable. Now, if you don't know what is knock 2016 2021, just search knock codes Ali Iftikhar on YouTube and you'll find the videos that will help you understand your knock code. And your job experience, your previous experience needs to be aligned with your work experience, with your job offer. Okay. For example, if you are applying for a job offer that is in knock skill level B, then either you need to have previous experience in skill level A, B, or C. If you have skill experience in skill level D and you're applying for skill level B job offer, that will not be validated. And if you have a job offer in skill level D, but your experience is in skill level A or B, for example, that job offer will not be validated. So for knock level D, if you get a job offer in knock level D, then your previous experience also needs to be in the same level. But okay, so this is about the past experience. Now another good update is that IRCC will consider your work experience, continuous ones, 1 year work experience, even if it is not continuous. So for express entry, your work experience for your primary knock code needs to be 12 months straight. Okay. But because of COVID, so they have given this ease for the RNIP that if you had breaks, but in the recent 3 years you have 1 year of full-time experience, then your work experience will be counted as matching with the job offer. And the job offer needs to be again verifiable from the government. It needs to be genuine. It needs to be full-time for a 1 year at least, and it should be a permanent job offer. Okay, so if you meet these criterias, then if you are in Canada, then you might be called for an interview in person. Okay, and if you're a foreign skilled worker or a foreign national, then be ready for a video conference because they will interview you before proceeding with your application. Now, once you submit your application to the rural community, the time limit is 6 months. If they give you, a decision, okay, then you're good to go. If they don't give you a decision in 6 months, then that means that your application did not go through, and then you need to reapply to the rural community. Okay, so this is the timeline of the rural community, and I'm really hoping that now the pandemic is over. I mean, not really over, but it's over. So now rural immigration, northern immigration pilot program, it will work in full swing, like the immigration minister said. 2,750 primary applicants with their family members would be arriving in these rural communities in every year. This is something that I'm really looking forward to because RNIP has been sleeping due to the pandemic or whatever reasons. But now I hope they will be in full swing. So after November 16, if you are submitting your application to the rural community after November 16, then your knock code needs to be according to the knock 2021 charts. Okay. Okay. So this was a brief introduction about RNIP. Now know this is a tiny program. You don't need to apply through a consultant. If you do, the consultant needs to be legal, I mean registered by IRCC, and that consultant should be representing you. Okay, do not fall for any fake consultants because your application can take forever, and your money will be stuck with that consultant, and you will not even be sure if it is worth your money or not. Okay, so apply yourself. The link will be in description. You can go to each community's website wherever you can have a job offer, and once you find an employer, check if that employer is registered or not, or ask the employer to get registered. Okay, so this is the process of RNIP, and know this, that proof of fund is required for RNIP, but it is less than the express entry criteria. Okay, so also on the community websites you will be able to find the proof of fund requirement specific to your community. Okay, so with these words, this is Ali Iftikhar, and I'm hoping great things are coming your way.